Been called to order. Who's here? Everybody. Oh, you know what, do we actually have to hook up that thing for virtual, Chris? Because I don't have a computer.
Nope.
Oh, good.
Mel sent an email saying that she could not make me co-host, so
Oh, okay, good. No, I thought it was still there. The link was still online.
okay. Let me go check my, I don't know how she can do it then, because there's no way that I can invite, oh, she said that it was an open invite, so.
Right, I'm just gonna pop on our website and see. Well, not ours, the town's. Sorry about this, because I honestly hadn't forgotten about that part.
I would also like to state this hasn't come out of the bag since our last meeting.
Out of the bag.
Oh, you know, I might not be able to do this, and I can't, because we use Teams at work, and Teams is on my phone.
Yeah, don't worry about Teams,
Okay.
but if you have the email link,
The link is to Teams.
I can do,
Yeah, I can't open Teams, because the
Right.
Teams that my company wants me to open is their version of Teams. So I can't
Okay.
open another version of Teams.
all right.
See, it says Teams needs
She sent it to
permission.
my work email, not my home email. So you guys discuss, and I will,
You will do your thing.
we'll see what I can do.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I'm sorry. What is your name? I know I shouldn't.
Krista,
Go Kid?
Gogan.
Okay.
You need me to spell anything?
No, I think you're on the email.
She's famous on the open space things. Well, and the library things. And the historical things. I dabble. If you missed the, did you come to the Lucy Stone thing?
I couldn't.
There's one in Lancaster on February 26th at 2. So I'll send you a reminder. because-
February?
Oh, boy, April.
You know,
Yeah,
my
right.
kids are gonna be busy.
Oh, well, you'll be busy.
But
gonna
but
have
you
to
just
go
like
with that
convince
email
them to
too.
come.
Oh, I literally went on the town's website, and
Oh.
it's on their website.
Okay. I'll use that then.
Do you want my phone?
No, I can do,
Okay.
I can do it over here.
Okay, so, got attendance.
Thank you.
Have you guys had a chance to, because I know I emailed the minutes pretty late today, so did you guys have a chance to read over them at all? Look at you guys prepping for class. I like that about you people.
Oh, we remember June 12th like it was yesterday. You know, wasn't it yesterday?
Oh, I wish it was yesterday. It's too cold today.
I know, but it was nice yesterday.
It was lovely.
So, I know Christine has not had a chance, well, she actually wrote them, so.
I wrote them, I also read the last one that you sent us.
Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve minutes?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Are we accepting them both, or what?
Yeah, the motion is for
Both of the?
January 15th, 2026
Now we have
minutes
discussion.
and January 12th, so we
So
can,
for both of them?
yep.
Yeah.
And is there anything that needs to be questioned, updated, whatever? Corrections?
Actually, I'm just gonna, as I see about halfway down, CPC buckets reviewed, and that was in June.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, it was just, everything was static through the whole fiscal year of 2025. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's just, I mean, it was basically just what we had,
Yeah,
discussing where the buckets are and what they are.
because, yeah, they're not, I just got the CP2 form this morning.
Yeah, no. But this was June in the summertime, so we would have had like rough estimates before.
Yeah.
I believe that was even before everything went crazy. Maybe.
Yeah, it was.
So,
That's true.
but yeah, that's all it meant. We talked about the buckets.
Yeah.
And then is there any questions on January 15th? And I know that there's some, and I corrected them, I corrected them on my version. Some punctuation errors, but those aren't a big deal. You just take some spaces out at a period, you're good.
All right, just so you know, I'm the only attendee. So
Ask some really riveting questions, would you?
Melody people added to the chat, Melody.
She might just be because she's the one hosting it.
Okay.
So she may not actually obviously be there, but she can be there. If she's there, hi. So, is there anything that needs to be changed, adjusted, amended on either January 15th or June 12th minutes?
No.
Looks good.
Okay. So, do we accept the minutes as presented?
You need to take a roll call vote or vote.
Yeah, I know, that's it. Do we?
It's a roll call,
It's-
right?
I don't think it has to be roll call because we're all in place. There's no one remote at this point.
Nobody will be joining?
No,
Okay.
this is us now.
Gotcha.
This is the committee. We can talk about that once we accept the minutes.
All right, if you
So-
see anything
Okay.
joining that, let me know.
So,
Yeah.
how are we feeling on the minutes?
Just ask for an A or
Aye or
yea or
nay.
nay.
Are we accepting the minutes? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Susan Worth, aye.
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 I'm an aye. Are you an aye or are you an
No, he has
abstain?
to
Okay.
I'm an F.
Well, it depends.
Yes, I am an aye.
Right, are you, I mean, because were you,
Get him
I mean,
zoomed in.
Doesn't matter, because
Okay.
I can still vote.
Okay.
Because I've read the minutes.
so it's unanimous. I can send these over to Mel, Right. So now we come to the exciting part of the meeting, which is actually the reason why we're having, I mean, not that the minutes aren't riveting and needed, but it's the library project application, which you all should have the updated version of it in front of you, which was received March 4th, it looks like.
And which again, I will abstain from discussion or voting.
And I know at the last meeting, we discussed the original project, which I should actually pull out to compare and contrast. Oh, do you have it in front of you?
Never mind. Have it.
Because if not, I have it in my bag, I just haven't.
Do you want Krista to come up?
Oh, yeah, sure, you can come up. You can sit wherever your little heart desires.
The items stayed the same, but the
cost.
costs did go up
Okay.
because we had time to look at additional options.
Okay.
And so, with Chris's library director hat and the other library staff, we looked over the different estimates and different choices. There are a lot of choices of types of signs. And we decided to go for, or to request funding for the frames that have the actual post, so there actually will be installed instead of just on a pillar, because then it all comes together, it's delivered together, it fits together, you know, they are more weatherproof, and so they cost more than buying the wood, but we would have to, you know, deal with all of that. And we also thought instead of getting the extra introductory sign from a different company, we would just request one additional frame that could be used, you know, to say, we got the funding from, you know, the CPC and, you know, any other, you know, information about the library, like kind of an introduction to the whole thing. So it's, instead of 20 signs, it's 21, frames, it's 21 frames.
And then you could change that for other things too, right? I mean,
Yes.
It's the kind of in and out.
Yes.
Yeah.
These companies sell like a custom frame that you can make, but Tricia, you know, has some experience with the one that she did, and she said, you know, we can kind of make our own custom things, and then we can change them out. The other thing that changed is we took off the books because we already own some that can be used, and then, you know, the library or some of the trust funds could be used to purchase, you know, additional books. And we also got an updated estimate for the installation, which would be done by the Hubbardson DPW and hopefully in collaboration with Monty Tech students.
Oh, nice.
So, it really is just an estimate, but
Right.
that's the figure that he
What
gave
keeps
us.
anybody from taking this book out of the holder?
Yeah,
What-
they're, I don't think they're locked, but they're secured. It's kind of like a weather tight.
Oh. Yeah,
I actually don't know if they have locks.
yeah, so somebody could come along and like the,
Yeah, I should find out about that.
so,
Um,
just a
But they're
thought.
meant to be, weather tight. And actually, unfortunately, you have to like take the book apart, and then you laminate the pages.
Yeah,
And so they're kind of, it's like just would be one page.
right.
But yeah, I guess maybe that is something we would need to think about.
Right.
I left my pen over there.
Oh, do you need one?
No, I have one.
I've never seen anybody,
The other thing that's included is the other estimates from, there's many companies that do this, and so there's a little chart with the different costs. So we went with one that was lower cost, but not the lowest cost.
And this is on page 9?
Yeah,
And so the one that you are going with is the second?
the backer, yeah.
Backer is the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, because Tricia had seen it somewhere, an installation from that company, and she thought it looked pretty good. She had seen some of the other ones, and they didn't seem quite as good.
I have a quick question on the Wacker one. So I'm looking at, I guess it's page 5. That is the post that is actually used to, well, it's actually, yeah, it's page 5.
Yeah.
Is that the post that is actually being used? Or a model of the post
Oh,
that's actually?
actually, no, I'm sorry.
The flush mount frame assembly and installation surface mount?
Okay, it actually needs to be one that's installed in the ground. This one, it looks like I included the wrong picture.
Okay.
This one is like to put on a pavement or something.
Well, that's why I was asking, because
Yeah.
it looked like that was bolted down, and that would imply that you would have to have bolts in the,
Dirt.
Yeah.
either in the concrete or something.
It's not the right picture, I'm sorry. It's a different illustration, which I can certainly get to you, but it goes into the ground. You'd have to dig the hole.
It goes into like a cement,
Right.
do you have to?
So do you have to put a post down? Or
Actually, I see what you're saying. I think you do
Okay,
put
this is-
cement in it, and then you
Page
might
6.
attach this to the cement.
The almost last page of this packet, there's something like this, which is the barking dog people. And that's definitely, you're throwing in,
Well, that's the old one,
Sorry.
where we would attach it to a wooden post.
oh, okay.
So would this look more like what is on here? The page 3?
Page 3?
No,
That's in a bucket.
Well, that's why, I cannot tell from the picture very well if it's a
Yeah,
bucket or
it-
if that's a post that has a
Maybe it's
sonotube
cement.
that has been put in the
Yeah.
ground or something like that.
Maybe that's cement in the
I
bucket.
think,
Okay.
what
So I see, what did you say in the before to last page, that's page 6.
Page 6.
The
it would,
bottom.
okay, that's the previous one that we were gonna go with, and it would actually, I believe, look like this.
Would look like something like this,
Yes,
yeah.
but we're, instead of getting the wooden, what we're requesting is instead of, attaching the frame to a wooden pillar, we would be getting the frame with the metal
Metal
pillar
pillar.
attached.
But the way the.
And then it would
magnet-
be attached like that, yes, so I
Okay.
think that is, more accurate than the picture that's here.
Got it now, okay. My
It will
confusion,
require cement.
Right. It's just like if you're doing like a deck. You
Okay.
Yeah.
have to throw the
Yeah.
where you
cement in
put
there.
like a
and then-
sonotube down and so on.
would
so
you
forth.
characterize this as semi-permanent or pretty much permanent because of all the cement that
Yeah,
needs
I mean,
to
it's
be-
intended to be able to, stay there even in the
Be
winter,
secure.
whether anybody can get there to read the stories in the.
No, no,
I don't know, but-
Something that is permanent.
Yeah,
Okay,
They install this? Who installs all this?
well, I think the town and the Monty Tech students
Oh.
would be
the
installing.
DPW folks.
Yeah.
The,
and the-
the quotes are for the materials.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay,
So
but
the-
it doesn't have to be bolted down.
And we
No.
haven't, you know, we need to meet with the other, you know, like the Open Space Committee, and, you know, to figure out, you know, where exactly it should go on that. When they were thinking about, you know, putting it on the accessible trail.
Yeah.
But exactly where it's gonna go, we still would have to work that out.
Do you have some options in mind? Maybe like somewhere Curtis or some other?
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea, but apparently there's not a good path.
Well, with Curtis, you run into trouble with, like, if you've got kids running for soccer, you can't have posts.
Is there not room behind? There isn't.
I think there's an issue with water
Oh.
and, you know, an actual path. I mean, I thought that was a good idea because it's centrally located, but exactly where it's going to be installed, you know, the committees would be able to, you know, to weigh in on that.
I mean, if we
were
have
thinking about the Dottie Rock.
The Dottie
Trail.
Rock Trail
Yeah.
would make the most sense, because if
Yeah.
that's accessible for carriages, strollers, obviously folks that are, you know, have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be a hard sell with all the cement, I'm just wondering.
I see what you're saying.
You know, because obviously I was talking about it, Rick said, oh, well, you know, that's one of the next big steps, and where would be the best appropriate place in, you know, safety. And Parks and Rec was talking about redoing the trail.
They need to get a bunch of money to redo the walking trail.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe it could even be somehow, I don't know.
But I mean, I could totally see Dottie Rock as, because I know when we did it at Mount Jeff for the Scouts, it was a fun way to get the kids outside and
Yeah.
doing something.
Have you seen it at Dottie Rock Trail where it is? The trail is here and then there's a field. And it's over where the field is, which is away from where people walk on the
going.
trail.
Right.
So you really don't know that that's there unless somebody tells you because it's out of the way.
It started in the field though, and then branched into the,
You can go up through the field or you can go on the trail over
Right.
to the overlook.
but you could
So-
see the beginning of the story too
Yeah.
there. So it's kind of, you know, I don't know. But that would be the next big step, it seems, to get that
Yeah.
in the most appropriate.
So aside
place.
from there, you're thinking of doing it in the rec field around the
I'm not thinking of
trail?
doing it at all.
Yeah. I mean, initially I thought that would be a good idea, but we
Yeah.
would have to work with the committee, and
Yeah,
Tricia
There's more
mentioned that there's some
visibility.
issues with it in
Yeah.
terms of the
Drainage,
actual
is that what
property.
she's talking
Yeah.
about?
The drainage is awful in the back.
Yeah.
The
Well,
drainage is
that's,
awful in the
that's the
back.
next step, and I'm sure there's some place that would work well. But, so
So it is an issue, because it would be like, a permanent thing,
Yeah.
but, maybe in future we'd have more than one, if we
Right.
like the idea, I don't know.
So right now, you don't necessarily have designation for 21 places where you're going to be putting this here. You're still working on that, right? I mean, you anticipate being able to put out 21 of these.
Yeah, I mean, the
Signposts.
reason for that number is, the pages of the book.
Yeah, I understand.
So it would have to be in some kind of, order.
Pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Is that what you were asking? Or
Well, I understand the number 21.
Uh-huh.
Where I'm coming with is you still don't have necessarily the placement of all
That's
of
right.
these. And so you still need to finalize that,
Right.
negotiate
Right,
where and how and
Right.
when that is going to be done.
Right.
Okay.
right.
When do you anticipate you may have that completed?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're kind of, like, okay, should we put this in? Like just trying to figuring out the time frame. We could go to other meetings. I don't really know. The
But you-
library itself does not have enough space for it. So, then we have to work with the town and the committees to figure out where it should go.
Do you anticipate it'll be in 2026 completed?
I would think so.
Okay, that's your ambition. and-
Yeah.
And your goal.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think it will be, I think we can find a place for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. If
Thank
they
you.
redo the walking trail, this should be after that, and that's a priority before
Yeah,
this.
but you're kind of asking, like, are we doing the cart before the horse if we don't know where it's going to go?
Well, but you have to start somewhere. And, why go jump through the hoops to find the spot if you're not able to complete the project? So, I hear what you're asking though, too.
Correct. I mean, the reason I'm asking the question is are you going to run into a logistics problem where you're not going to be able to do this project?
Oh, I
That's really
can't
truly where I'm heading
Yeah,
with
yeah.
here.
Well, I guess
So
there's
we're-
a chance of
we're-
that. Maybe we should,
Okay.
we could wait to see if, we can finalize the location and then and then go for this.
So would it be okay for us to say, yes, maybe this is an approved project, but it is subject to you coming
Contingent.
back with a finalized
Yeah.
list of places?
Yeah.
Except the sooner this gets in the works, the sooner it can get started and completed.
Does
So
anyone
it's
know when town meeting warrant opens?
I'm sorry,
soon,
what?
I'm sure.
The warrant for town meeting?
The
Yeah,
warrants are gonna be
I
due
think
pretty
it's
soon.
in April.
It's in April.
Yeah. So
I mean,
March,
I-
April.
I think we would have to wait till next year if we were gonna
Okay.
have
But
to
then
figure
if-
out the place first.
And I think my worry for that is you've already got one company that's told you that they're going to increase
Yeah.
their pricing.
That's
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing.
So
Was that
that's-
clear on here? I didn't explain that.
Well, you can still potentially get, I mean, if we get the approval and you're kind of like in the right direction, you can
Mhm.
still get the material, and then it's a matter of just adjusting the logistics as to where it is that you're going to install, when you're going to install,
Yeah.
and how you're going to install them.
Yeah. I mean, we probably should have gone to the Open Space Committee and the Parks Committee and talked to them about this ahead of time, but the timing just really didn't work out. But I can certainly go, to their next
Sure.
meetings.
They're going to say, well, do you have funding for this?
Right,
year?
right.
Yeah, see, so you have to start somewhere,
And it's right, it's okay for you to do it this way.
Okay,
I just want to make sure that there is a sense of, yes, we're going to do it this year, we're going to get it completed, and more importantly, I mean, if it's this year or for next year, that's maybe beside the point. It's just
Mhm.
making sure that there's a direction. It's not going to be hanging and left
right.
with 11 pages only out of the 21 put out somewhere.
Well, and we certainly would not order anything until we knew where they were gonna go, because, we have to be specific about, where it would be delivered to and all of that
But you
kind of stuff.
you can order most of the material, maybe not necessarily like the cement and other stuff like that, but you can still go to some of the
frames?
some of the procurement process, right? I mean, like the procurement that you need from Wanek is the name of the company?
Becker?
Oh, sorry, what's the name?
Zacher, is that the one you said you were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
VAC.
You can still get all of those pieces and store them in the library, and then as you
Okay, so you think it would be okay to do that? I was thinking we would have to wait. I don't
That's for
know.
you to decide.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is
Once
is
we
that
get the funds, we could buy
Once you-
it.
Right, I mean,
Yes.
like, nothing can happen, no matter what we do tonight, until a town meeting happens to
Right, sure.
authorize the spending.
But
can't
once
do
you,
anything.
once they have that, where I'm going though is that the concern that you're bringing up, which I think is very valid, especially with potential inflation, as we might be seeing over the next several months here, for you to be able to go and say, look, this is material that we definitely need,
Mhm.
and we can get that. And I think the biggest item, the largest item that you have here are the signs, right? It's
Right.
probably, it represents more than half of your,
Right.
almost more than half of your cost.
Right,
The rest is cost for the cement and for maybe, I don't know if you're allocating something for the DPW or the material
yeah, that was just,
installation.
an estimate, I don't know
Okay.
exactly how.
But
it's-
still, I mean, that is negotiable
Right.
and you can figure that
Right.
one out afterwards. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Just two things, we're sort of wrapping this up, but you'd want to keep it under 10 for sure, because 10, you get into a whole nother bidding thing, right? It has to be under 10,000,
oh, I see, yeah. Mhm.
right? And it's 9, it's not
9.3.
that close, but just keep that in mind.
Okay.
And the other thing is, does anybody know if anyone is going to resurrect the garden at the center school? Because that's a wonderful space down there. I don't know if they use it for playground right now. That might be a spot, and then the kids can walk from school to it.
You know the garden.
Yes, I do know the garden.
Where the
Where
plate in the back.
That's where they had them, they used to have the,
When you're facing the senior center, where they just put on the deck and everything, and there's the school, and then down the hill, there was a beautiful
yeah,
garden.
Karen DeFranza did that.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I don't think the garden has been
No,
viable
it's-
for
it's-
years.
Right.
But also during the school year, that's where the kids play.
In the garden space,
No,
they do.
in that whole
Yeah.
field, the baseball field,
okay.
the other field
'Cause-
next to it, the playground, so,
So that's partly playground now, then,
Yeah.
sounds like. It looks like it's still got some stuff.
well,
on it.
I,
Yeah.
I'm not, I
I mean,
don't
I'd
know.
love to see the
I'm
garden
not-
Are they still
back.
doing the composting and stuff there?
No, they
Oh,
stopped
okay.
that when Karen left also.
We need Karen back.
We do, I know, she was lovely.
She
Yeah.
was.
She
Well,
was
Quabbin's
lovely.
program's still running, the high school's program still
Yeah,
runs.
but also that space is used, oh, Quabbin has a garden, that's nice, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Squirrel.
At least they did, who knows?
That space is also used for extended days, so it's,
It's-
if we could put it on.
That's not
a path.
necessarily the most public of public
Right.
spaces.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
well, I
it's
just
the
thought I'd
public
throw it
school,
out
but
there.
it's not.
Okay, so
I mean,
now
I
back
think-
to the fact that we're CPC and not
Yeah.
open space and not parks. We're meeting tonight to look at this pro plan and see whether or not it's an allowable use of CPA monies and whether or not the committee, or whether or not the town has the monies available to meet their request.
Since it's not a lot of money, we know for sure, open space recreation seems to be the bucket that would be the best to withdraw it from. So,
And you feel fairly confident that the 9,300 plus a little bit is close to, as close to you, accurate as you can get?
I think so. We don't really know about the installation, and we don't really know about the lamination costs, like there might be some ways we could reduce some of that.
But you definitely
But I
wouldn't be
think it's
going
enough.
up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it is.
Because the big problem, like a town meeting, if we had to,
Right.
if this committee votes to accept it and it gets on the warrant and we go to town meeting, if you came in and said, really, it's only $8,000, we can roll it down
Right,
at
I
town meeting, but we
understand.
can't roll it up at town
Right.
meeting.
Right.
So.
Do you have alternative sources of funding that you can tap or request from other places?
Well, I'm not sure if I already said this, but this, like, we were gonna order books as well, but we decided we could, either through the library funds or possibly other, grants, we could
you could
purchase
save
that.
some money there.
It's possible, I mean, I am a library trustee, I can't speak for the trustees, but we could propose to use some of our funding for, for
So
some
there's
of
a
that.
potential that if
yeah.
we hit that ceiling, you
Yeah.
can say, look, it's not more than this here,
Right.
and then anything over that, you would be responsible
Right.
to make sure. What I want to make sure is that this project does not collapse just because
Right.
you cannot reach the financial goals that
Right.
you have,
Right,
or any overages that you have.
right,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I think it should be okay.
So I think we should
Yeah.
probably indicate that as part of our decision.
Okay.
And that this is not to exceed, and that
93.
any funding that is potentially requested or required above that are the responsibility of the library trustees to
Yeah.
find alternative sources.
Right.
Could we
Okay.
round that up to 95, just so there's a little more wiggle room?
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to,
Yeah.
how to put the numbers together with an estimate. It was kind of tricky.
How about us saying not to exceed,
9,500.
okay?
Or, yeah, I'm just wanting to keep it below 10, but I would even say 96, because things always cost more than you think they're going to.
9,999, how about that?
That
99
looks a little
cents.
suspicious.
But I mean,
Only if you go to the bank and try to deposit a check.
Your estimates from your vendors seem pretty much spot on.
Sure.
And you
Yeah,
did build
the
in,
frames, that cost should be pretty good, because they said, round it up a little, because
And
they're
some of them were the same, for the same kinds of frames.
Right,
So that's the
right.
going rate, it
Right.
would seem.
It's just the other things that are more of an
Yes.
estimate.
Is this to choose one area to put this in, or will it be like at Dottie Rock and at the
Oh,
rec
no, this is
field?
one thing
it
to
just
start,
one
right?
place?
Like, some stories are shorter than others, so, this was like, it was recommended to
Yeah.
get 20, from other places that have done this, but, it could be,
Yeah.
could be set up differently.
but I mean, think of it, like, say they had a
Yeah.
book that was 10 pages, not 20, you could have kids doing art to put in the other 10 pages.
Yeah. Well,
that
So
would
it's a
be
good
neat.
Yeah,
Or,
And you could
possibly we
rotate
could
those.
split it up,
Right,
and
yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
nice.
okay, so,
Because the frames are pretty big,
Yeah.
so you could potentially have, 2 pages on one, something like that.
Right.
so as a committee, do we feel that this project would meet the allowable use?
Yes,
Okay,
I don't see anything to be,
so there's no
it
concerns
up.
about allowability.
it's, yeah.
So how do we write this motion for this
Not to exceed
project?
9,500, is that a good number?
I would say not to exceed 9,900.
Oh, okay, go with 99,
And the wording is not to exceed.
not to exceed.
9,900?
Yeah.
That does not mean run out and spend.
No.
No.
I'm just
Come back.
kidding.
I'm just wondering, do we need to redo this
No,
paperwork?
you don't.
Okay. I was trying to figure out how to make it.
I think you do
Thank
not
you.
have to go back and rewrite this here. We
Okay,
would not want you to do that.
okay, but thank you for that, flexibility. I think that's very,
It gives you a little
Yeah.
bit of a safety
yeah,
on the off chance.
yeah.
In times of war, you have to be flexible, right?
So this theoretically, not even theoretically, could be on this warrant. And
Yes.
Yes,
That's
that's
the
the goal.
expectation at this point.
Yeah.
So that if we approve it, it goes to the town, and then, even then, there's a wait, there's a, unless.
There's a bit of a waiting period after
Yeah,
that because
right.
it doesn't happen right
Well, I mean, the
after.
funds would be there immediately. It
Correct.
could be allocated, so
Yes.
that would be available, but just ordering things and,
Yeah.
and who's doing all that over there, I don't know, yet.
Okay.
But at least this is one big step. to
I don't
getting it
have
done.
a past warrant article in front of me, but how do we word the motion for this?
We can, well, I brought a sample if I can find it. But it's
know.
just the usual, well, you have, like you said, you want to include not to exceed. I can come up with a draft.
Okay.
Then I could send, is that okay to send around or not?
Yeah, basically, because we have another point where we're going to go on to the organization of the committee, and at that point, we'll figure it all out. But generally, like, say you come up with the wording, you send it to me, I wouldn't send it out to the whole committee unless we're going to be meeting to discuss the wording.
Which we could do one more meeting before.
We definitely, we'll probably
Yeah,
have to do
right?
another meeting before the town meeting anyway.
Right.
But instead of like, the weird thing that happens is say, okay, Mary sends an email to me, or to the group, with an idea. Well, now technically, even though we're not in the meeting and we didn't post it and the public doesn't know we're doing it, even if no one answers, we're kind of deliberating. And once that starts to happen, then we violated open meeting law, and then once that happens enough times,
Right.
it's a big problem. So generally, that's why the chair, whomever that might be, would be the one that would communicate with the group, and usually in the email, you're just communicating location of meeting. And here's the information you're gonna need for the meeting that we'll discuss at the meeting, you know? But yeah, I know I should have pulled that out. So we're gonna have a motion, somebody has to come up with a motion wording to accept the library project, not to exceed $9,900, for a permanent storyboard walk, right? Story walk installation.
Story walk, is that?
Yeah, it's actually like a trademarked name of a concept, I guess, story.
And we need to specify from open space. Then.
From open space / recreation.
Yep.
So someone has to make a motion. What? Someone has to make a motion, they can't motion. Francois, would you like to make a motion?
If you give me a few more minutes, I think I'm going to attempt to write something.
Okay.
And why don't we just go ahead and do the motion completely, and then I think we can maybe just get this underway. Give me a moment, please.
Okay.
If you want to discuss other things in the meantime,
Well, then that's the other,
So I could go to the Open Space Committee and the Parks Committee before if they're meeting before the town meeting and just say, if this gets approved, tonight, then I could say we have approval and maybe we can work out the location.
yes, you definitely could do that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And that would make sense, because you gotta lay the groundwork for your project.
Yeah, but
Um,
I don't know if that needs to be included in the warrant or.
I don't really think so, because really, it's for your permanent story walk installation to be installed
Sometime
at a
the next
location to
year.
be determined,
Mhm. Yeah,
you know?
okay.
Because it could be at Dottie Rock Trail, it could be at the rec field, it could be wherever you
Yeah,
come up with.
okay.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. We can just say it's allowable use to put before town meeting. Which it isn't, it meets all the allowable criteria for it, so. It's outdoors, it's open to the public.
Right. It's a great idea.
It actually is. But even if it was a marginal idea, if it meets the requirements.
Susan, what's the category?
Open space / recreation.
Aren't we the Parks Department? Wasn't somebody on our committee, the Parks
She left
Department?
the Parks Committee,
So
so.
who would be?
Just
Oh, she left the Parks Committee, I thought you meant.
Maybe.
No, there is a
Right
Parks
on.
Committee, there's still
Yeah.
other people, but she's not on Parks anymore.
Uh-huh.
And as such, she can't be a rep on CPC,
Okay.
because that
So we
position
need-
specifically.
That's right, I was thinking somebody's missing, that's what. it's
That's
so-
what's missing. So the
Yes.
Conservation Commission and right now the Parks Commission does not have reps on this board.
Or the housing.
We don't have a housing.
Right,
Yeah.
but technically there was
Oh,
some.
right, I forgot, there was somebody that was interested in that and then they didn't. I forgot about that one.
How
It was
about
so
something as
fun.
simple as this here? Motion
Okay.
to accept the CPA project application submitted by the Board of Trustees of the Hubbardston Public Library for a project entitled Story Walk Installation, and submitted and revised on March the 3rd, 2026, for an amount not to exceed $9,900, and eligible as an open space recreation funding project.
That is lovely wording.
Okay?
So Francois made the motion. Who would like to second it?
I just gave you this here. As long as we accept that, I'll make the motion.
I'll
Okay.
second it.
So I'll make the motion. The motion is to accept the CPA project application submitted by the Board of Trustees, Hubbardston Public Library, for a project entitled Story Walk Installation, and submitted and revised on March the 3rd, 2026, for an amount not to exceed $9,900, and eligible as an open space recreation funding project.
So it's been motioned, it's been seconded, and
Aye, Susan.
Hi.
Aye.
Yes.
yes, she's
Abstain.
abstaining. Okay, so that is that. So yes, you can go before those other boards and say that, there is a, assuming the voters vote to approve it, there's some funding mechanism in place, and here's where we're thinking we might want to do this.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. I look forward to
And
seeing it.
thanks
It's
for
going to be very
your, your
exciting.
feedback. We'll find out how to secure the pages.
I'm
pretty sure they have a way to do that, yeah.
The
Thank you very
DPW
much.
doesn't have many people left.
Okay, thank you. So yay, we look like we'll have a good project for town meeting.
Yes, we do have something to present. That's great.
So do we want to, as a group, we can choose to move the agenda items around a little bit. One of the items that we had on there was discuss warrant article to appropriate estimated community preservation fundings, the buckets, for 2027, fiscal year 2027, and organize the committee. I would like to swap those and do the organizing of the committee, because we should reorganize. We haven't done that in a while. So we have roles that have to be filled. We really want Susan to stay as treasurer, if she's okay with that.
I don't want that job.
It's getting more challenging all the time.
Well, hopefully in the future it will.
So,
I have high
Balance out.
hopes.
Yeah.
Like I
I met
said,
the
just got the
accountant, she's-
CP2 form this morning at 9:30. So,
She's getting everything together.
there's a crew of people that are digging in, the various,
Yep.
and their roles, and it's getting done.
It is.
all right, so our roles that we need to fill are treasurer, which I mean, if you're willing to stay on treasurer, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's fine
No, I'm
too.
interested. This is my
Okay.
baby, and it's so interesting because there's this, and then the first church, the first meeting house, and we want to know what we started with and exactly everything that went in from the get-go.
Mhm.
But there again, it's been frustrating because.
There's been so much change
Yeah,
and transition.
But I'm like a dog with a bone on that, so,
You'll get to that.
yeah.
All right, so she's willing to accept that role. Is the committee good with her
Oh,
continuing to do
absolutely.
math for us?
She's the only one
Thank you.
qualified to do
Um,
it.
Chair,
Francois, she took a sideways glance in your
And then I
direction.
ignored her, right?
you did. You just kept writing.
I apologize. I cannot assume that responsibility right now. I have
I know.
commitments
know.
with my daughter right now. and
I also,
granddaughter because-
my backup plan was Jessica Hall.
I apologize.
That's okay. Dolores, any interest?
No.
Okay,
I'm
Mary?
busy.
Not really.
All right, so then, if you'll have me, I'll stay as your chair.
Yay, we love you.
Which means, Christine, I'm taking notes, and I can't take notes as chair, so I need a
know, and I'm really sorry
secretary.
about that. I guess I'm secretary.
Yeah, I tried.
You did.
Just one thumbs up.
You know, the thing that you can record on your phone and it will,
Oh, yeah, we use that all the time.
so maybe that's something to look into. I mean, it's
Well, I
not
also-
perfect
I also-
AI sort of thing.
I watch
right?
the video.
Yeah, I watch the videos and then I try to
Right, but
summarize what you're saying, because
That might just.
your original minutes from last time were like, wow, look at that, that's great. Just a line, and then I look at mine, I'm like, I'm
This
writing
one?
a novel.
That's because,
Leanne.
Leanne hadn't, I made these quickly because Leanne hadn't sent them to me and we were having a meeting. And Leanne, I knew was no longer going to be on our board, or with our board, not on our, she was never on our board. So I knew all that was going on, so I watched the video. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, boom, 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 boom. And I was at work, mind you.
So
To
yeah,
speed
if you
through
guys are
things.
willing to deal with my wordiness, I'm willing to.
I would rather people, if they get, if anyone actually ever looks at the minutes as posted, gets more information than less.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
So
So,
are you guys okay with me?
Yeah.
Sure.
There's
And
some
I-
great tools out there.
I do spell check now.
There you go.
That's a
No, I was
baby
just-
step in the right direction.
There's a fantastic tool that's called Knowt, Knowt. I think it's free. That you can actually record a video on, upload it, and
Oh,
it'll
and then
do
it's-
some wonderful summarization.
that's a good idea.
So
It listens to the text, right? Or,
yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, no,
then-
it listens.
yes.
You
and then-
don't even have to have captions or anything like that.
And then it jots it down and then you can modify it somewhat, right?
You can if you
Okay.
wish to, but
Yeah.
it does usually a very good
Pretty good job.
summarization.
Yeah, something to think about.
So, but Knowt is, I believe it's free.
Okay.
So
All right, so
certainly
we're,
worth exploring.
you're gonna look into No T?
Yeah.
Was that an Aura ring? I'm so like a squirrel.
It is not, it's a Ringcon, because Aura requires a subscription every month, and I
Oh.
hate subscriptions. This one just takes my information,
And
but
then
I
just
don't
gives
have,
it to you.
I just paid for the ring and that's it.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Now we can return to business. So we're reorganized, well, still organized, more or less organized. And those are the only roles that we have to fill, so we're there. The other thing would be the, how to appropriate the monies. And
Okay.
were you able to pick through the email from, did you guys get the email from the CPA or the CPC group in Boston?
They should be on their list.
They should be, you guys should be getting them.
I sent around this article on the finances.
Right,
It
yeah.
was such a help. Even for somebody who's somewhat familiar with it, you always learn something new. But if you know nothing about it, this is very helpful. In fact, I sent it to them and said I would help, but anyway, so.
So,
Send it to who now?
The town folks. Them.
those people. But yeah, check, I will look through my email later on and find it and send it to you, because it gives you, it gave you an idea of like what the payout will be from the
Oh,
state
cool.
this year for the towns and all of that.
And it was interested in the state match.
Yeah.
And it told you exactly how to do it, because the formula is cockamamie. So it made it very simple, but it's still.
But I can't remember what the email address comes from,
But
so I can't find it
everybody
quickly.
should be on that list.
They should be. They are on the list. Now, whether or not, it might show up in your spam filter if you've never opened it.
Yeah, I will look. I will look.
Okay.
Um,
Comes from
Yeah, you said it.
the coalition, Community
Yeah.
Preservation.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Coalition.
yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, I do get that.
So, And they just do updates from time to time too, but they are a great source for sure.
All right, so
So are we ready to dig into
the titles
this?
on the page.
the title's on the page.
Well, I'll update Mel so she can
Oh, on our
update the
website?
website. Yeah,
That'd be lovely. Thank you.
she loves when I do that.
Okay, so yes, we are ready to get into the idea of like where we're gonna, like how much we're anticipating, what buckets to put it in. Are we gonna do the same math that we've done?
So there's one for
the past every
each of
year?
You guys, each of you, please. So we are tasked with preparing the fiscal year 27 CPA budget, which sounds scary. But basically what that comes down to is this estimate. And these communities should use 15.5% figure to estimate their November 2026 trust fund distribution. That's the state match. To calculate the dollar figure for your community's trust fund trust distribution, multiply your fiscal year '26 estimated CPA local surcharge revenue by 15.5. So you're going to want to flip, the CP2 shows us our income for 2025. They finally got that done. That was due at, it should have been ready for after July 1. But I finally, like I said, they finally finished up. You know how I found out that the fiscal year 25 was done? By reading the Barry Gazette.
I'm glad they're covering us still. I'm glad they're covering us still.
So I said, okay, all right, guys, it says it's finished. Now I'm on the numbers. And guess what? I got them this morning, like I said. So actually, we're looking at the second page. I mean, you can look at that at your leisure. But the second page has to do with coming up with the fiscal year 26, first of all, because we need to use that number and then multiply by 15.5. And that's what this is all about. What I did was I looked at the last 3 years, 4 years, and as you can see, it's going up every year, right? So that's the trend. I'm looking at the second page, everybody, right? Okay.
You're talking
Yeah,
about
good.
this
Okay.
one right up
Yes, the top chart. So basically, it was like around $7,000 every year. So I tacked that on for to 2026. Now this number is already in there, but here is fiscal year 2026 estimated, because we don't know for sure. It's an estimate, but if you look at this trend, I think that's in the ballpark figure. And then you multiply it by 15.5 and you come up with the state match of almost 1,600. And I rounded the 102 to 103.
Okay.
So we have our state match. We don't know what fiscal 27 is going to be. We don't even know until July 1 what 2026 is. But our task was to come up with the state match at least. We know that. So that is 15, almost 1,600. Then I looked at the past warrant articles, and we've talked about this as a concept. Do you see how it flatlines? Fiscal 24, 25, 26. We use the exact same numbers. But what in reality was going on? Was it staying the same? No, it was going up, which is okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to
So I think
overestimate.
that's why we were coming in the
It was
conservative
it's a ballpark,
estimate, but it
yes.
was.
Yes, but it was working.
Right.
And then, on top of that, now this is the basic numbers, but if you look at the interest, look at the trends in the interest. Look at this year's interest. Does that knock your socks off? I almost thought it was a mistake. I thought maybe it's a typo.
No, we had a good.
But, the stock
good
market's
year.
been doing okay. We must have, maybe they invested differently
Did you say this is interest though?
on the CPA large pot.
Yeah. So,
That's monies collected, that's monies that have been allocated, the larger
but it's in an
number.
interest-bearing account is what I meant.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
And the interests have been much higher than they have been in
Yeah,
the past.
so, I
several
mean,
years.
look at that. That brings us up a lot,
Right.
but we
Well-
can't count that in. The state doesn't want to know about that. We can use that later for our total and disbursements.
Right.
But the two numbers, well, the number the state cares about is the state match, and that's based on the previous year. It's a cockamamie thing. But I think that maybe we might consider going up a step rather than just 100, maybe 105, and these would be the buckets. And possibly, I think realistically, but I don't want to get over my skis, possibly up to 110.
Okay.
Be-
Can I go back a
Yeah.
quick moment? I'm just trying to understand the numbers that you
Yep.
have on the first table.
Yep.
The state match that you have there for 2076, you said this is, you have 102,896, which is an estimate, right?
Of the revenue, local surcharge.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
And to that, then what you do is you multiply that by 0.155, right?
Right.
And that's supposed to,
15.5, and then you come up with the state match of. That's the way to get that number.
so 16,107? is you get from there?
No, it's to get the fiscal year 2027. So you take 102 and you go diagonally down to the 15.5 and
Oh,
that,
okay,
I
now-
know.
now I
you
understand,
see,
now I
and that is
understand, now I
what
understand, now I
happens in this whole chart, Francois. It's, all the numbers go like that.
Gotcha, so the 16,107 that you have under 2026
It's based on
was the
2025.
16.87 times, percent times
95,496,
Got
yeah.
it now,
It's
okay.
a diagonal movement.
Yeah,
They work
okay,
on the
that-
previous year.
that I
know.
lost, I did not understand that.
It's a little
Thank you.
strange.
Okay, very good.
But
Okay.
it does make, I mean, and the state, by the way, this is definitely still an estimate. Like they said, they'll go conservatively. They'd rather be low than high.
So that might actually go up.
It might.
Okay.
I mean, it could go down, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Who knows these days, but yes. So
Right.
my suggestion then is that we consider going up because we've flatlined for 3 years. Does it hurt us? No, because the money's still come in. But I think why not go with some real numbers if we're pretty confident? And that's why I only went up 105, and then that makes all the buckets a little bit more, which I think we can pretty much count on, as much as you can count on anything these days.
So in the past, just trying to get, like in 2024, we did 100,000, was our estimate. We came up at 100, that, our total that we came in was 106,000 that year.
In 2024,
Yeah.
the local revenue in 2024 was 89,273 with a state match of 17,256
Okay.
with a total of 106,529. And that's on these charts. On
Yep, no, I'm just trying to make, like, I'm
Yeah,
just trying to make
so,
sure that
I mean-
every year that we've budgeted 100, we've actually come up
Yeah.
above it.
So we've been very conservative, things have worked well, but maybe it's time to think a little bit higher. We don't have to. And it says also consult with your, finance people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
No, I would be comfortable with the 105 total, and with the math the way you've done it.
I
Seems to make sense to
think it's
me.
pretty stable there. I mean, unless.
Yeah, it's not a huge jump, it's not something that we like
Right.
are aiming for the
It's-
sky, and if it
and
falls
the
apart, we're
100
done.
numbers were so much easier,
Right.
10, 10, 10, 65, 5, boom. But this is maybe a little bit more realistic, and still, there's an interest figure for next year that we don't know what it's going to be. It'd be great if it was.
Well, I mean,
like this.
the interest figure, that's a great, like, remember 2022, when we lost $11,000?
I know.
I mean,
and
things happen, so that's why the state doesn't want you counting your interest, because
Oh, right.
if it disappears, it disappears.
And for some people with the smaller accounts, it's not that much money.
No,
I mean,
well, my son just started his 401k not that long ago.
Oh.
The amount of renting that I've heard of late about this, I'm like, darling, you're in your 20s. You've got plenty of time to make up for that.
So Francois, you look like you were.
I know we're still on page 2. At some point in time, I have some questions about page 1.
Oh, okay. Anything else on page 2 while we're there? And then let's go to page 1.
So on page 1, on the expenditures, I just wanted to, and again, I apologize because I was not necessarily in this.
You're talking about the CP2 form you're asking about, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Page 1 of that. So a quick recount on the historic resources that we had there. What was that?
Okay, no, all right. The CP2 form is actually 2 pages, and they break it down. It wasn't relevant to what we're doing now, so I
Where's the
didn't want to
second page?
confuse
She
people.
didn't give us a second page.
This is CP2. It has 2 pages, though. And as
Oh, we don't
far
have
as
that second page, right?
historic, it,
No.
at this point, looks like 15,967. And I can get this copy to you if you want, but until I see how, okay, the background for this is when I looked on the website and the CP2 had not been filed, I panicked because it looks so bad. You see Hubbardston and there's these blanks. There's deadlines for this. And I thought, oops, somebody dropped the ball. I wasn't surprised, but I probably should have been a squeaky wheel. But even if I'd been a squeaky wheel then, I don't know who would have carried the ball. But anyway, so I don't even know when that got filed, but it did get filed because here on another chart on the website, Hubbardston, 1.5, our revenue was 95,322, which is in the neighborhood. There's a variance because of abatements and so forth. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then the state match was 16,124, and then the interest 19,614. A total this year for fiscal year 20 is 133,67. That's getting up there. 133. 133,000. So, you know, that's going to be sweet when it comes back to us. But I don't think it has been dispersed yet.
Oh.
I see the numbers on this page, but for one thing, this is an old form because they have a new one that they've started like 2 years ago or maybe last year. So I just, like I said, I literally got it this morning and I thought, oh, great, something else to get ready for tonight. So before I start throwing stuff around, I want to just double check. Same for the first church. I mean, first, I can't not say church, I say meeting house. Because they needed to know at least ballpark figures. But I have the feeling that
The first, but
first meeting house,
but how
because
does the first meeting house have any revenue?
it doesn't, but I'm
Oh.
just saying.
So what ballpark figures are they trying to get?
Well, I'd like to offer them so they have an
Oh.
idea of what is available or in. Historic's been hit a lot because of the library, no offense. But, I mean, and.
No, I was confused. I'm like, okay, when did the first
Yeah,
meeting
just-
house get a revenue line? When did that happen?
Yeah, well, no, I tried to do a rough estimate, and I'll tell you, it came pretty close. But here again, they're not official numbers, so I don't want to spread them too much.
Okay.
But, where was I going with that? We're in good shape. I just think that the money came in, but it didn't get dispersed into the buckets.
Okay.
And this, the way some of this is worded, I'm thinking, this is a new one to me. For example, let's just look at CP2 for a minute. The expenditure, historic, remember there was 20,000 and you spent 14, and so there's 6 left.
Yep.
But to me, I don't see where that 6 is because they also should have sent an allocated ledger history.
Oh.
So there were pieces missing, and not to say that they're not doing a good job. If you don't know CPC and you just get thrown, oh, you've got to get these numbers to this lady.
Yep.
Because she's starting to drive me crazy. I was trying to be nice, but I started in December. I went January, February. I said, March, we need these numbers. So we got them. So they may need a little bit of adjusting is what I'm saying. But that explains what the 14 is. The 31, this shows the expenditures. 31 is payment 4 of 5 for the library. No, the playground, playground. And so, but that debt, the last one is already.
It's gone, yeah.
It's fiscal year 26, it's allocated.
Yeah.
But there again, that needs to show up somewhere.
Right.
So, and then of course the usual, the dues are 300, and then other community recreation. And I'm thinking that 10 looks like the 10 that went for the access trail, but that was fiscal year 24. I looked it up.
Was it,
Anyway, so I'm just wondering, it was sitting in the allocated,
yeah, but was that for the baseball fields? What
No.
was their
No, for
total?
no,
Dottie Rock.
it was Dottie
Yeah,
Rock.
The man
but
that came and
Oh,
wanted
that hasn't been paid. I
10,000
thought that
for
was all done. I thought that was taken out and done.
That's what I mean.
Oh,
So
okay.
it should have been fiscal year 24.
Yeah.
And I even looked it up in some of the town reports, but I didn't have time to do all the research I felt like I needed
okay.
to do. But just, you can see, this form is so helpful, because if it's filled out accurately, you get a picture of what came in,
And what
in
went
what
out.
categories, what went out, and they put it under debt service, which I guess it is.
That's the community recreation?
Yeah, community recreation.
Okay, fine.
And the new form, though, even has it broken down. In other words, 30 is the principal, and then 1,260 is the interest.
Interest,
So you know
okay.
immediately how much interest you've done on this 5-year loan.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
And I apologize, have to go back again for a second. The historic resources was for what specifically?
Okay, historic resources at this point, if this is on page 2, which I can send everybody, I'll send the whole thing. Historic is 15,967 at this point.
But what was it specifically allocated to? What project?
This is just sitting
This is
in the
just,
buckets.
this is the
Oh,
money.
so it was just a bucket?
It's the accounts.
Yeah,
Not
it's just, it
necessarily,
has to
but
be
it has not been spent?
has
Right.
not been spent. And I do believe but I'm not totally sure that there should be another disbursement of around 10 that should go into that bucket.
But because it is not spent, it's just there and can be spent in the future.
Well, you know,
Yes.
yes,
Okay,
it's
fine.
for expenditures. But like I said, this demystifying, if you have any, you know, it is very helpful. I think
That's in the
actually,
email you sent, right?
yes, I did, before the meeting.
Yeah.
And it's on the website.
Okay.
Demystifying, CPA finance is demystified. And it's very helpful. In fact, maybe we should make it mandatory. We should all read it. When I walk out, am I going to have arrows in my back?
No, not yet.
Real close though, right, Mary?
I'll
Okay.
just put my
But
mouth
so,
away.
the good news is people were out of debt. We're
That's
starting to
wonderful.
build things up.
Yep.
So that's the good news.
We could take
And
out
so the
loans.
one on the right-hand side for the 14,000, that's what was spent, right?
Yes, 14,000. In other words, the library had allocated 20,000 for brickwork.
Brickwork.
The 8,000 is gone.
Yes.
Remember? Okay.
Gone.
So 20,000 was the amount, but they spent 14, so there's still 6. So when I'm looking at this, if I didn't know there was still 6, I wouldn't be able to find it here. So that's what that's why the allocated funds are so important.
So from a revenue perspective, I'm just trying to add the numbers in my
Yep.
head. So in 2025, fiscal year 2025,
Yep,
total revenue was 133,000 plus, and the expenditures were 55,560, correct?
55, where are you getting that? Oh, down at the bottom there.
Yep,
Yeah, well, yes, yes.
okay,
Just in rough figures.
gotcha. Yeah, no, that's fine.
And see that total, that is, the interest is on the total. In other words, we have monies coming in, and then we have the money that's sitting that's allocated, and then we have the buckets. And so I don't know how they segregate the funds, though. In other words, how do they know what amount of interest is it the CPA money in some larger lump and it's an X percentage? Do you see what I'm asking?
Oh, I do know what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, there's probably this big pot.
Right.
And then CPA is in there, and it's around, 400,000 plus minus, and that's where it usually hangs for us, somewhere in there. So that's not chunk change,
Right.
but still, wow, 19,000,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But I don't know how it's segregated within the fund.
Well, so I'm sure the finance group in town can eventually figure that out for us.
Well, it would be interesting to see, because at one point Nate said they were going to look at reinvesting, maybe be a little more aggressive, which I thought, okay, well, but I don't
Be
know.
aggressive with your part, but not ours.
Yeah, kind of. I just thought. Anyway,
Okay,
so
so
the
now I'm going to bring
bottom
the
line is-
conversation back, because we want to go home at some point tonight,
Yes.
to how we want to project the warrant item. I think that Susan's made some very good points as far as increasing the buckets, because realistically, we're bringing in more money. I'm kind of in the one step up category, where, 105 is the projection, 968, 250 for undesignated, 10.5 for open space, 10.5 for historic, 10.5 for community housing, and administrative, 5,250 is what I would be comfortable with, but you guys can have different
What do you
opinions.
think? Are you, instead of flatlining for another year, I mean, we don't really have anything to lose by doing that, but
Right.
it's just, why not have it be more accurate as to what's really going on?
Well,
So,
the 65, 10, 10, 10, 5 has worked.
is what?
Has worked well, the breakdown
has,
that you
it
have,
has.
so I don't see an issue with shifting that around.
Shifting it.
I mean, keeping it, the 65, 10, 10, 10, 5, and then increasing it from 100,000 to 105.
Yeah, that's what I think
Yeah.
Danielle
Yes.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see no
Yeah.
issues with
okay.
any of that, so.
I'm thinking it's a smart move, but it's based on trends, what we see coming in, and taxes aren't gonna go down, just saying. So, and that could, I would do the rough draft on that, and then send it, and then we have the language that
Francois, can you email that to me, or to Susan?
I can do that.
She's gonna do the
Both of
draft,
us.
she's gonna do the
Yeah,
warrant.
I'll do the rough draft of warrants of your text.
She's
there.
gonna write the warrant article, so
And then,
do we have to vote on that? But I think it's okay if you just,
I think we do, but we need to have something to vote on. Right now, it's in rough form,
Right.
sort of, but Actually, no, we have his, and you know what I'm
No, I
gonna
think
do.
in the past, because I've written the warrant articles in the past, we just basically, Sandy would have a meeting saying, these are the buckets, these are the projects, and then we would vote on allowing me to write the article. I'd pass it
Okay.
through to the town administrator.
And they always have legal.
Legal, look it over.
Right.
So we haven't had to have a second meeting to approve the warrant article language, as long as we've given the authority to you or to someone.
Which is what we're doing right now.
Well, first we've got to figure out which version we're going to go
Okay.
with.
So any more discussion on that then, Mary?
No, I'm liking the fact that we can increase a little bit. And
Sort of
Let's see.
stay
Yeah.
current with what's going
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
Yeah. I'm
And
just
then the
thinking.
following year, you know,
Well, who
we'll
knows,
see how
right?
it goes,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Does somebody need to move that, or?
I think we do have to vote on that. So someone needs to make a motion to accept the warrant article projections for fiscal year 2027.
Of blah, blah.
Of, 105, 90, 68, 250, 10,005, 10,005, 10,005, 5,250. So who would like to make that motion?
I'll do that, I can finally talk.
And who would like to second that
I'll
motion?
second the motion.
And all in favor?
Aye.
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 That's a unanimous one, because I'm in favor of that as well.
Susie.
All right, so we've done that. Now we need to have someone make a motion to authorize Susan to come up with the wording for the warrant articles to be submitted for town meeting.
I would like to make that motion.
A second it.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nice.
Our work here's almost done.
I think we are actually through our agenda at this point. So, I don't see anyone from the public with anything to add. I don't see, is there any matters that were not reasonably anticipated by me? I don't see any. Do you see any? Is there anything any of the boards need to share about what you guys are up to, or you're not a board? We're open space. We're at large. We can sit back. Historic, have anything that you want to share?
No,
Planning board? No? Open space?
No?
No?
We've got his meeting, the town report in. They all put pictures in. I didn't do that for you guys.
We're okay.
And I'm not gonna do it for you guys. I just wanted, I used my framework from the year before and it just fits in, but it would be
works, it
great.
works.
Right.
What?
If it works, it works.
Well, it does kind of, you know, and so.
So I think the only other thing someone has to make a motion for is the motion to adjourn.
Are we gonna need another meeting this year, or?
Oh, do we need to have a meeting?
Well, how about this? It's been voted on, right? And so the
voted on.
next step is the town, right?
The town, yeah.
And she can go around and get
She can
some
start
input.
what do you call it, her own motion to work with other
With the boards to figure out where they want to put
boards
it?
and groups, yeah.
Obviously, if we have to call a meeting, I'll call a meeting.
So we don't have to schedule.
So we don't have to schedule one right now, because I don't think we have anything that needs to be done.
I mean, you can still do it if it's so required, and then you can announce it.
Should we have said on the 105 with the town's approval? I mean, it does
No.
say,
No.
no, because they probably don't know
This
as
is,
much
this
about it as
is,
we
this
do.
is the body that approves it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's the neat thing about this deciding where our money goes to a certain extent, rather than having to funnel it through. I don't know, I think CK is such a.
Oh, we can take public input,
Right.
Yes, oh,
Right.
yes, definitely, but I'm just saying,
well,
you know,
and that's why we have an
Right.
open meeting.
right. It's a good thing, we get some good stuff.
So, I mean, I don't know when the warrant opens and closes.
Soon, right, April?
I believe it is in April, don't,
Well, they have to
don't
get
hold
ready, because it has to
my
get
word to
printed
it, but
and
I
blah,
would
blah,
suggest
blah
that you
for
speak
June.
with
The
our town administrator, with the town clerk,
Yeah.
and they can give you that
Does anybody know
information.
when a new administrator will be in place?
No.
Not
Sean
yet.
Sean is only working half-time though, so I mean, how does he do a full job when he's working?
Well, that's not for us. Lori, going back to the motion to adjourn without a meeting scheduled, because we don't need to have a meeting scheduled right now, and I can reach out to you guys about dates. So who would like to motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion,
And-
non-debatable.
And who would second it? And who's in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so now we are officially
Mary, you second.
adjourned.
You seconded,
Adjourned.
right?
I did.
Adjourn.
Oh, no, you second.
Well, I
It
did.
doesn't matter.
You couldn't have
I,
me second.
yes, I